Want to start?
Let's start the show.
Looks like Al's not the draw we thought he was going to be. Here we go, everybody. Hey, everybody. The facial recognition software on my computer stopped working this week. I called Microsoft support and said that the camera had a problem. They checked, and my laptop said the problem was my face. Let's start the show.
In a cabin, going crazy, 'cause the flu that's worse than swine swept the planet, so damn it, here we are in quarantine. We've been quarreling, we've been snarling, oh my darling wife of mine. It's a toilet paper zombie apocalypse, so we're here in quarantine.
Hello and welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. Here are some etiquette guidelines for Virtual Comedy Show. Please arrive 15 minutes early. That way you can make sure your stream is solid and prepare your home to be quiet, except for laughing and clapping, of course. Facebook and Instagram sometimes chime when you get a message. These chimes are audible to everyone in the Virtual Comedy Show, so please turn off notifications and all other sounds on your device. Don't know how? Google it. That's why you're here 15 minutes early. Though we love kids and pets, a comedy club is not a good place for them. They don't understand the need for quiet, and the jokes are not intended for them, especially cats. No sense of humor at all. Please, no pets or kids at the Virtual Comedy Show. Please don't heckle or chat at your table. It's more fun for you if you can hear others laugh, and more fun for others if they can hear you laugh. So keep your mic on and laugh all you like. But with 100 mics on, we may hear coughing or barking dogs or screaming babies or attacking zombies, and this can easily drown out the comedian. Please place your phone or other device 6 feet from you so we don't hear every breath you take, and mute your device if your area becomes filled with noisy zombie dog babies. And once you vanquish those zombies, unmute yourself. If you're not sure how, ask us via the chat system, aka typing, and we will help you. We would like to see your face as part of the audience. Let's be social, not just distant. We've all been in our pajamas for weeks. No one will judge your hair, we promise. So get comfortable, plan to laugh, but not heckle, and let's make our strange quarantine world a bit more normal for a little while. Thanks, and enjoy the Virtual Comedy Show.
Hey everyone, it's time for the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Brad Tassel and Steve Goody. Tonight, Brad and Steve welcome their very special guest,
Ernst.
live from their respective quarantined homes. And now, please welcome Brad Tassel.
Woo! Hey, it's the canned applause. Hi, everybody. Let's take a look at everybody. Who's loud? Let's see. Hey, everybody. Hey, it's Steve's dad is here, and my mom and Marvin are here, and Mark is here, and Carla and Al, because he has to be here. And yes, I did. I got my hair cut, which was, I know. Well, see, the problem, Steve, is you actually look fine. You're just getting more Starsky.
That's true.
You know, but I was to the point where I was getting people taking my picture during trail runs. It was like, oh, there's one. So it was good. But it was. Anybody else get their hair cut yet? I'm looking at people, and y'all don't look very good. It was very clandestine. They have secret doors and rooms, and we both wore masks. Although it was relatively normal, but she told me, the stylist, you know what she's doing most? She has done like 25 Brazilian waxings since she started just in the last week that they've been open. I mean, she said it's really very Blue Velvet, where she's hacking off down here and they're both gagged. But
God.
I know.
Wow.
And it was really a lot like a Brazilian, because she said after 4 months, she was really stripping the Amazon rainforest, if you know what I mean.
Yikes.
I know. Sorry. That was just something, classic jokes. And I'm queasing everybody out, so that's nice. Okay, so now let's see what jokes work this week. Number 1, Sean Hannity and his wife are getting a divorce after 26 years. Steve, do you follow the Sean Hannity and his marriage?
I have not at all.
I know. He said that they're still the best of friends and that the divorce is amicable. And she said, fake news. Everybody's got their sound off, Steve. We need to get your sound on, everybody. What the heck? Nope, they all got their sound on. That's just no
Dude, I'm watching like 3 shows at once.
Yeah, I was going to say Amanda's running 2 shows as we speak.
And Carla is on 3 shows.
And Carla's on 3 shows, and Al is wondering if he's on a show. So, and you mentioned that NASCAR banned the flying of the Confederate flag in any way at their races. Some fans cheered, and the other fans were wrong. So, and did you see that one of the drivers, Ray Ciracelli or something?
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, Cirelli. He says he's going to quit racing to protest that they're going to remove the Confederate flags, which is odd because they actually do have the equivalent of a Confederate flag in the race. They use the white flag, right? But Ray has never seen the white flag because you have to be in the lead to see that. So, and then when they asked NASCAR what they thought about Ray leaving, they said, "We don't know who that is." Because he's a horrible racer. He's not good at it. Okay,
He goes around the track.
Joke was fun.
I just thought of a joke. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
He goes around backwards. He's so bad. It's reverse racism is what it is.
Yeah, reverse racism. I think that's
what it
very
is.
good. So.
Get it? It's just that easy. Go on, Brad.
All right. I was going to say, it's too easy for you. Okay, here's one. Joe Biden made a bold claim that Donald Trump will try to steal the election. Steal it. Biden swore he would never do that. He's just going to sniff it and touch its shoulders a bit. Anybody? Come on, that was good. That's a good one.
messed up.
That was messed up, that is. So I
think-
like to be equal.
Brad, even though people's microphones say they're unmuted, they may not be. Hey, everybody, if you're watching us, unmute yourself so we can hear you. Okay, carry on, Brad.
And mute me. So
No.
Netflix, did you hear, Steve, I don't know if you heard, Netflix trademarked the name Space Force for their series, so now the government can't use it for their military that they wanted to have Space Force. So, yeah, they can't use it for the new military order. So new suggestions Trump has come out with. Steve, come up with one if you can here. Everybody can come up with one. How about Trump Force Alpha Moon Sky Jockeys? I like that one.
like that a lot.
Mar-a-Lago Military Moon Force.
Oh, God.
Pew Pew Laser Fuse.
Yes.
How about this?
That one's a good one.
How about PP Tapes Playhouse?
Oh wow, that one's tough. I think they're going with Space Command. I'm sorry, Amanda, did you have one?
Galaxy Quest.
Ah,
Galaxy, yes. Yeah, one of my favorite movies, actually, right there. So also this week, a lot happened in just a couple days. Reese Witherspoon, we all know her. Her clothing company is called Draper James, and they gave away 200. They did a thing where they gave away 250 dresses to 1 million teachers. So it was, well, they tried, which kind of explains the state of education in the world, doesn't it? But the company forgot to say that it was a contest and not a giveaway. So 1 million teachers thought it was a giveaway, and they were all very disappointed when there were only 250 dresses. But the company did compensate. They said they offered a 30% discount coupon to educators for dresses that cost $1,000. So it was very nice. Yes. The ungrateful teachers decided they might buy food instead. But thank you, Reese Witherspoon. Let's see. I'm looking around the room thinking if I like anything else. We may be done early. Hey, did you see this? There's a petition to replace a Richmond, Virginia statue of Robert E. Lee with Odorous Arungus. Do you know who that is?
no idea.
Anyone?
Sounds like a
Yes,
bad
because we're all old
Bar.
people.
least
That's
popular
right,
flavor at
Bar.
Starbucks.
No,
No,
he's a
no.
guy who's in the band, Guar.
Yeah, he's the guy. His name was David Brocky. He's passed away, but he was in the band Guar. And Steve, that's one of those bands. What they would do, they're really shock rock. They would spew like blood and fluids all over the place during the concert. So, really, Robert E. Lee, take out the racism, pretty much the same brand. Ooh, rough, huh? Okay. Now, wait, I'm going to try this one and see if it's okay. The petition was put forward by the group that loves the band. They're called the Scum Dogs of the Universe. That's who wants to change it. The people fighting to keep the statue just changed dog to bags. That's my favorite joke of the day. So, is it 10 o'clock yet? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brad Tassel. We have an amazing show. We're going to go right now. What I love about this show so far, not the jokes, just the quality of the video right now. We have not had any problems in any way. So I'm going to bring him up because you love him, you know him. Here he is. It's Steve Goody, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Brad. Hey, make some noise for Brad Tassel.
Hey, Brad.
Hey. Thank you, Carla, for covering for everybody. All right, this is another top 10 list. Very excited about this. This top 10 list is somewhat interactive. I'm going to give you a word that you are all supposed to say after I say each one, and it's going to make sense. It's the same word every time after what I say, although on 2 of them, you'll say it before. It's all going to make sense. I will guide you through it. Tonight's category is top 10 kinds of cheese at the White House. So I'm going to list kinds of cheese. I'll say a word, and then you say cheese, and it'll be fun. We all get to be a participant. Oh, it's going to be great. All right, let's go. Top 10 kinds of cheese. Number 10, Merkin.
Cheese.
Very nice. So you get the hang of this. You guys are doing great. Number 9, extra.
Cheese.
Extra cheese. We like it. Okay. Number 8, grilled.
Cheese.
Number 7, Mayor Mick. There you go. So you got to move a little faster. These are funnier, but you're doing great. You guys are amazing. Number 6, Pepper Spray Jack.
Cheese.
Because he sprayed a whole bunch of citizens. Because he's
that was the best one. That was great.
Thanks. Glad you liked that one. Number 5, Rush Limburger. Extra stinky.
Cheese.
Okay. Now in the next 2, you're going to say cheese first, and then I'll say my part. So 1, 2, 3.
Cheese.
Cake Factory. C Factory, because of cheesecake. All right, that didn't work that well. Let's try it again. Here you go. A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Whiz. See tape pee-pee. Man, everything's backwards in that one. Okay, now back to doing it after me. Number 2. White Power Cheddar.
Cheese.
And the number 1 kind of cheese at the White House, ass.
Cheese.
That was fun.
I still don't know what ass cheese is.
I don't
Consider
either.
yourself lucky. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't even worry about it. Let it go.
Are we back to diverticulitis?
Are we ever?
Because that gets a little seedy. Well, Al,
Stop
are
that.
you still here?
I don't think she heard you. Say it again.
No, Al. Al, are you
Al.
still here?
He's
Al Ernst.
He's there, but I can't hear him. Al, can you unmute yourself, please, even if you don't think you are muted?
I am unmuted.
There you are.
Okay, good. I just
Yeah,
want to see if you were still here.
Yeah, no, I was checking to see if we would go with Ask Clown as opposed to
There's no
that's
cheese in that is the problem. That's a great
That's
idea.
very good. That's very
well,
good.
I'm trying to participate here, and I've found out I've just been talking to myself.
Well, this is the point in the show when a lot of the guests try to get out, and then we have to have somebody come to their house and sign them back on. But ladies and gentlemen,
No,
we have a
believe
guest
me,
that
I've
never
already-
signs out because she loves the spotlight.
Yay!
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's talented. She has a lot of headroom, and she's sitting in the bottom weird left corner of that picture. There we go. Yeah. Let's get on the mic. Where are you?
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Carla Ulbrich.
Yay!
Right. I know I'm just supposed to do a song, but I got a couple jokes for you, and they're really stupid.
Yay!
Knock, knock.
Who's
There.
Police brutality.
Police
brutality.
Ooh.
That's officer police brutality.
there?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
There.
Truth.
Truth.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Giuliani.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, one more.
Wow,
Knock, knock.
going hard.
Who's there?
Who's there?
GOP.
GOP who?
GOP, growing our portfolios. All right.
Wow.
What? I didn't get that one.
Growing our portfolios.
Oh, got it.
That was a good
Carla,
one.
taking a stance this week. Taking a stance.
I am not usually doing that. So I was watching some social media, and I saw some overheard some things that didn't quite make it to the news. So I've got a top 3 list for you, Steve. Top 3 things overheard the cops were saying at protests. I'm sick of these protesters attacking my baton with their heads. Number 2, these protests are really getting into my KKK meetings. And number 1, does this tear gas canister make me look fascist?
Hey, dark.
It's been a dark week, man.
It has been a dark week.
They got weapons on a peaceful day. They got chants and tiki torches, hoping for doomsday. I guess you'd say, who the hell would act this way? White guys.
White guys.
No white guy.
White guys.
White guys.
Nice. Okay, neo-Nazi white guys.
White guys.
All those caravans of brown people taking your jobs away. As if you're willing to pick lettuce or cut grass all day. Well, I guess you'd say, who do you think is to blame? White guys.
White
White guys.
White guys.
Rich, powerful white guys. White guys.
White guys. Ooh.
Yeah.
NRA. KKK. They get tax breaks when they lay you off. Everybody, white guys. White guys. They're actually giving your job to robots. Here it comes. White guys.
White guys.
White guys.
White guys.
Nice. Talking about driving up the stock price.
White guys.
White guys.
White guys.
Yay! Carla Ulbrich, everybody.
Thank you.
Take a bow. I don't know what that means. I just got to find me here. That's the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Carla. I feel like I'm in a sit-in, like in the 60s now. That was beautiful.
Pretty heightened around here.
Yeah.
Pretty heightened. Yeah, it's very heightened this week. Very good. I
Wow.
feel like I'm.
Well, 3 white guys all beat up themselves.
Yeah. And it's a show run by today 3 white guys
And one yellow guy.
and one yellow guy. What?
Bob.
Fraggle.
Bob, right here.
Oh, okay, Bob. Oh, good, because I was a little scared of what you said. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I was a little scared. By the way, if you want to donate to the cause, go to virtualcomedyshow.com, and we will split the money up between all of our favorite
White guy.
charities, which are us, and stuff like that. Or go to any platform that you listen to music and use our names right now at the end of this show. Just say, Alexa, play Brad Tassel, and I make a nickel. So you do that, or say, Google, play Carla Ulbrich, and listen to that all day. Your dog will love it, even if you're at work. So, or Steve Goody, or Al.
My dad brought
Al,
snacks for everybody.
Yes.
That's right. Brought snacks. See, that's good. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's that time. Let's look at him for real, because he's an attractive man.
Oh, yes, he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, and he's got just the one mask above his head.
Yes.
Is that that's the comedy? Where's the tragedy?
We have this is a tragedy-free zone. We've done all the tragedy already.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But enough
Well,
about the top 10 list.
The top 10 list was a tragedy because we found out the word ash cheese today. So, ladies and gentlemen, the man has paramecium on his vest. He's one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. When I met him, I think the first time we worked together was Pikeville, Kentucky.
Yes, we did.
I was worried, and my wife was with me, and she said, literally, that is the funniest man I've ever seen in my life. Then we started working together on Carnival Cruise Lines, where you are literally the top comic of all time on Carnival Cruise Lines. You actually do a show every week with their main cruise director, John Heald, right?
Well, yeah, I do. You know, because I'm so big time, I appear on Instagram Live once a week with him. Yeah, things are going great.
4 million followers. I mean, and also comedy clubs all over. At least a 30-year career he's been out there. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for him. He's going to do some jokes or whatever he'd like. Let's hear it for Al Ernst. There he is.
Hey guys. Well, after the song "White Guys," I'm feeling a little guilty over here, basically. So, but I thought, as opposed to doing jokes, this is my 30th year of doing stand-up comedy full time until the pandemic hit, and then I got a job at a grocery store sanitizing carts. But anyway, I just thought I would go through. I wanted to talk about some of the great things, and you bring up Pikeville, Kentucky, that happened in this 30-year magical career. The time after I worked with you in Pikeville, Kentucky, I actually was arrested in Pikeville, Kentucky.
Oh God!
So they, the owner of the comedy club and the local sheriff apparently had a little rift, and on comedy night, they decided that they were going to raid the club and take everybody that was in that nightclub to jail, including the comedians. And they had no paddy, the true story, had no paddy wagon, nothing like that to load us all up. We went to jail in a school bus. they had a big yellow school bus at Pike County Schools, and me and the other comedian get on the bus. We're sitting in the front seat next to the cop who's driving the bus to the police station. And of course, we passed by a middle school, and I tap him on the shoulder and go, "That's my stop." And needless to say, whatever riff, and you know, it's one of those things everybody thinks you're just making this stuff up as you go. We had no idea there was any riff or what was going on. All we know is they came in, they took our names, and then we're 3 miles from our cars, the nightclub, and everything like that, and they said, "Okay, you can go." So me and the other comedian at 11:30 at night in Pikeville, Kentucky, are now walking the 3 miles. There was no bus back to the club. We're walking back to the comedy club to get to our cars, and he looks at me and goes, "Are you, you know, they gave us a hotel. Are you I'm not staying. I'm getting in my car, packing my bags." And the next stop on the Fabulous Comedy Club tour was Johnson City, Tennessee. And I think I showed up to try to check in the hotel at 5:45 a.m. in Johnson City, Tennessee, because I was not spending the rest of my night in Pikeville, Kentucky. But those are the magical things that people don't think about when you decide to take this career on. That just like having off nights, we have off nights on some of these tours long before I joined the cruise ship. And you don't have money; you don't even have a $30 extra to get yourself a no-tell, motel, or anything. And this was just when the Walmarts were starting to open for 24 hours a day. So I had this off night, and I decided they were selling those handicapped lounge chairs in the pharmacy. So at about 12:45 at night, I show up with a bag, and I sit in the lounge chair and just kind of prop myself up. I went and bought. I bought and didn't steal anything. I went and bought some snacks. I set myself up in the pharmacy on the lounge chair, and they had VCR. They had those VCR tapes that showed you how the benefits, that continuous looping tape. I popped one of those out. I bought a couple of $5 tapes in that $5 Hellbend in the back of the Walmart, and I popped the movies in, and for the next 4 hours, I watched them restock the Walmart outside of Fort Myers, Florida, while trying to get rested up enough that I could wait for enough time that they would allow me into the hotel for the next day's trip. So that's the kind of comfort, that's the comforting features you have as a road stand-up comedian, and people just never hear about those things. And then it's also a lot of made-up stuff. You know, everybody wants your introduction. What's the first thing that happens when we get to a comedy club? The host says, "What do you want me to say about you?" You know, and so of course you try to dream up you're in this obscure city of 10,000 somewhere in Indiana. And of course, you've got your own HBO special coming out, of course, because that's just the way that works. So I told the guy, say whatever you want about me, and he went out there and said, "Oh, he's got a new CD available that's in at any." And those were the times. I know some of you youngsters out there don't understand. You used to have things called music stores where people went and bought CDs and DVDs and things like that. He says, "Yeah, he just released his new CD, and I think I just saw it in the comedy section over at Best Buy." And so he lied his way through it, and then the people came up and said, "Oh, we want to pick up your CD," and I started feeling weird about it overnight. So the next morning, the Best Buy was about a mile from the club, and I got in my car, took 10 of my CDs, and instead of shoplifting, I went and shop dropped 10 of my CDs into the Best Buy comedy bin. And of course, it was Ernst, so that's in front of F, which was Foxworthy. So I put it right there, right in front of the Foxworthy CDs. They were all nice and thin, and left them, got them all nice and neat looking. And apparently somebody did try to buy one, and there's no barcode on my CD, but there is contact information because, of course, I want to get booked. And the distributor from the Best Buy of that region calls me up and says, we don't have you on our distribution list. And I don't know, man. That was my manager. I have no idea. You'll have to call my manager and figure this one out, So I actually got a cease and desist from the Best Buy telling me not to leave my CDs at any other Best Buy in the United States. So these are just the things that when you talk about a guy who's made it for 30 years on a champion career, these are just the kind of magical moments that you have as you move forward in that career. And just as I really thought once I made it to Carnival Cruise Lines, which obviously was a great career decision, knowing how many ships are sailing right now. I thought, well, there you go, Al. You've got your career. Things are gonna be good. You're gonna move right to the top. And as Brad knows, our way of being treated, let's just say we're not exactly the stars of the crew on the ship over there. And so I get in. I am so fearful. This is my first big break. I'm thinking I've got to do this. I don't know where you go to eat. So they said the crew has a crew cafeteria, a crew mess. I don't know where that is. And I didn't want to ask anybody. And believe it or not, yes, I have a lot to, I can go a few days without eating. So for the first 3 days I was on a cruise ship, I did not eat anywhere because I didn't know where to go and I didn't want to ask anybody. So I just would peer out my door and go, is it showtime yet? Because I don't know how to get up to the theater from where we are in the ship. All I can tell you is it had a window, it had a little porthole, but it looked like an aquarium. So so somewhere from deep in the bowels of the ship, I left an hour and a half early, made it up to the theater, crawling up there, and 27 years later, next thing you know, I'm still working the cruise ships and doing some other stuff like that. But now I'm with you guys tonight with a top 10 list and new jokes. I mean, I just thought we'd have a COVID joke, but man, you guys went totally topical this evening. So feeling that way, I have to give you what my topic is, and I'm not mad at, you know, I think this is a tragedy, this whole pandemic. I do, but I am mad at one person, and that is this guy in Wuhan that one night, must have been close to Thanksgiving last year. He's like, honey, we don't want a turkey. Let's get some bat. I think if we can get a nice, good bat, if you'll run out to KFC and get us some bat.
KFB.
And
KFB.
at KFB, yeah. You don't have one here? I've got one down there at KFB. You know, and if you'll just get us some bat, I think that'll be the best Thanksgiving. Let's go off the map a little bit. Let's be, you know, everybody has turkey. We should have some bat. And the next thing you know, we're in the middle of this. This is the guy I really want to go talk to. So.
Send him to Pikeville.
I figured they probably moved him into Pikeville. He's somewhere in Pikeville. I'm absolutely confident of it. But which leaves me with my last little vignette and story. As you can tell, 30 years of this stuff, and all of them, you know, not in our usual comedy way where we have to like kind of put a little topping on it. These are real life stories. I got my itinerary back when we had a little piece of paper. I had to find on a map how to get into Aiken, South Carolina. I found this address, and this address was a Citgo station, gas station. And I kept driving by it, thinking I had the wrong place, driving by it. Finally walk in. I said, you know, I know this must be the wrong address. Oh no, we do comedy here on Thursdays. Right? Yeah, we sure do. You're exactly in the right place. And it was the parts storage area next to the garage in the Citgo station that they turned into they don't have their dry county, so everybody brought their bottles, and I'm standing next to like 28 tires doing my act at 8 o'clock on a Thursday night in Aiken, South Carolina at the Citgo station. So folks, it gets even better as you move along in your career, because it gets topped off by having the booking agent call me up and said, you know what, Al, the Bass Pro Shops want to do a comedy show. I said, you know, that's great. Is it employee recognition? Is it some kind of, no, they want you to stand on their big fish tank. They think it'll be really fun to have a comedian up on top of their fish tank, and you can just talk to the people. So you know, we're professionals. It's the bills. Nobody has ever sent me a bill that said, "Dear Al, you were really funny this month. It's on us." Right? All right. They say we want our money. So I say, you give me a place and you're going to pay me, and I agree to it, then by golly, I do. And the next thing you know, I'm climbing a step ladder to stand up on a massive 5,000-gallon fish tank at the Bass Pro Shop outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and going, hey, you and the lures, hey, come on over here. I got some jokes for you. Come on. Let's all get together. So I appreciate the opportunity to just to have my time here, celebrate my 30 years in this palatial studio back here, and tell you how much how much fun I've had with you. But you can check me out if you are in the Central Florida area. I'm actually doing live shows, reopening of the McCurdy's Comedy Theater in Sarasota, Florida on the 19th and 20th of June. I will be at the Vasani dinner theater in Port Charlotte, Florida, for a special Father's Day COVID-19 show. Well, they're old people, so you know, we don't know. It's masking to the nth degree on Father's Day at 6 p.m. and then a worldwide tour, and hopefully back with you guys. And I'll write some topical jokes. We're going for topics. I like it.
Al Ernst, everybody, let's hear it. So Al, hey, let me ask you two questions. The first question is, you were a wrestler?
Yes, I worked for I was a professional wrestler before I became a stand-up comedian. 3 years working the independent circuit in the South. Where else? And I was a masked. I started actually out as the ring announcer. I was the guy who got to go, ladies and gentlemen, now making his way to the ring area. That was something I wanted to do my entire life.
I thought you meant you were the ring girl. I got confused. I thought
I was the one holding the card. Well, my breast size would have gotten it would have done it, but actually I got the job as the ring announcer, and we set up a gimmick where a bad guy wrestler by the name of Abdullah the Butcher was going to attack the ring announcer, and then the good guy would come in and save me. So I just thought I was going to get a clothesline from Abdullah, and I started to introduce him, the madman from the Sudan, and he came through the ring, and instead of giving me a clothesline, he picked me up and threw me over the top rope onto the floor, and it hurt. It actually hurt. And the
wrestling is real.
Yeah, the promoter came up and he said, Al, you did such a good job of selling that move. I said, yeah, because it hurt. That's why. And he goes, you know what? I think you could help us out. He says, would you be willing to be trained? And I started learning the techniques. And one time a guy who normally gets beat up in our federation didn't show up, and the guy put a mask in my production notebook and said, "You're the Inferno. You're wrestling twice." And the next thing you know, my career was born. My record is 0-264. Yep.
Like the opposite of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, like the NASCAR guy.
You're the Washington Senators.
Yeah. I'm the Washington Generals of the
Generals. Yes.
Yeah, and but that was my job. My job was to make the other guys look good, and that I could do, man, because most of the stuff they did really did hurt, And so, you can say what you want. Yes, we all know the secret's out, but it still hurts. So, but the other half of that is it got me comedy gigs, because a lot of my wrestling friends would come see me do stand-up, and then people in these small cities would go, hey, do you see Jake the Snake Roberts is here tonight to see this wrestler comedian guy? So I actually became a draw as a feature act, because some of these wrestlers would come out to see me, and that it wasn't because I was funny, because we've proven that tonight, that you can get 30 years in without really, being that funny. But they rebooked me again, and my last match was in 2005. I was a manager in Cahokia, Illinois, at the VFW. I worked playing against a guy. They wanted it to be an Arab bad guy. However, they did not have an Arab flag, and the closest flag they could find was an Irish flag, a flag of Ireland. And you know how much we hate those Irish. So I went up against Douglas O'Shea, and he didn't like me, and he forgot his lines, because I was just supposed to go in and berate him for a minute. My guy would come in and beat him up, and he got so lost in his script that he got mad at me, and he hit me over the head with the flag stick of the Irish flag, busted my head open what we call the hard way, meaning He busted my head open for real. And I was working at the Funny Bone in St. Louis. And I had to go on stage that night with 7 staples in my head because this guy busted my head open on a Saturday afternoon. That was totally unplanned. So that was my last set of matches before I've totally hung up the managerial and the wrestling tights. So
All right, let's hear it again, ladies and gentlemen. Al Ernst.
Hey!
Hey. So, Al, funny enough, you tell these stories. Hey, after the show, if anybody wants to hang around, we can tell a good many stories about things on the road. Al, I got arrested. Your little cute arrest story. I got arrested in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. So
No.
we'll talk about that. Wasn't funny at all. There was zero funny about that. So we'll talk about that later. Ladies and gentlemen, also, if you want a ton of road stories and learn all about comedy, the book Hell Gig Enlightening the Road Comic. Go to Amazon and pick it up, and you'll learn all about everything Al is saying. Sadly, though, Al wouldn't be involved. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest, and here he is. It's Steve Goody.
Hi.
Steve, do a song.
I think I will. I don't know if everybody knows this, but amongst our gallery tonight, we have a birthday girl.
Oh, who's it?
Not everybody knows that. It is Jenny's birthday tonight. Why don't you spotlight Jenny for a second there?
I'm trying to find Jenny. Jenny's kind of in the dark there.
She's kind of in the dark. Well, she
Jen,
lives in Tennessee, and it's kind of dark around here. There she is.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Jenny are
Jenny's
really in
really
the dark.
Well, she already blew out the candles, you see, so it's dark.
Yes.
Like you're
Is that
like-
Jason behind you?
Is that the name of the song, Jenny in the Dark?
Yes. No, as a matter of fact. But I just want to say, I'm not allowed to say exactly how old Jenny is. Let's just say it rhymes.
Go ahead.
It rhymes with 98. All right. So I like to perform now a song. This is the song that got me fired from TGI Fridays. You know, when you work there, they make you sing happy birthday to absolutely everybody who claims it's their birthday, and you have to sing the stupid birthday song over and over. Well, I got tired of singing that song, so I made up my own, and that's what ended my career. So here we go. We celebrate your birthday, even if you don't. We're glad you're getting older, because when you're dead, you won't. Hey!
Hey!
Oh, happy birthday from
Jenny.
everyone you know. Now we will light the candles and birthday girl you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Jenny. Happy birthday. Steve, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Was that the song? Was that?
I got another one if you want. I wasn't actually planning on doing that one.
Oh,
Would you like another one?
Hey, you know what? People can just leave if they want.
If they want.
So,
Yeah, clearly. That's why they have me at the end of the show, to get everybody to go away.
That's right. Well, you know what? No one has left, and everybody's here. And I think people have been hanging out at the end of the show to talk about stuff. So go ahead and play a song,
Okay.
and maybe you will get them to leave.
Well, as most of you probably know, this week is the 15th anniversary of the re-release of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, this time starring Johnny Depp. Panned widely by the critics, but I came up with a little song kind of inspired by Lou Reed. Charlie came from nowhere, you might say. Couldn't afford no chocolate bars, no way. Every day, just cabbage soup. While his dad was capping toothpaste tubes. He says, "Hey, Dad, take a walk on the Wonka side." Said, "Hey, man, take a walk on the Wonka side." And the little folks go, "Oompa loompa, oompa loompa doom doom ba doom ba doom ba doom." Everybody oompa loompa doom ba doom ba doom doom ba doom. And when I recorded it, I couldn't do it because I was laughing too much. That's it.
Yay! That was cute. I think that's one of the cutest songs I've heard in a long time. That was
That's
really
fairly
cute.
adorable.
That's fairly adorable. I feel like we should have given it more time.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe.
hey, everybody. By the way, Al, too, I not only got arrested in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, which was scary, I was a mime in a liquor store.
Wow.
I
4
can't.
hours a day, mime in a liquor, and I'm talking, this isn't high-end liquor barn. This is just a regular old drunks in and out liquor store, $20 an hour, mime in a liquor store. Couldn't talk. So
And they thought that would sell more booze.
they thought, well, it was Brut champagne, and they thought me dressed as a mime and doing mime next to the thing that it would get people interested. And what I did was scare the crap out of people because stand frozen.
I'm scared already.
And then they'd come up and I'd go, and I'd grab them and
But
I
you
would
know, it
fill-
makes me want to drink.
Well, people would have like carts that they would, and I would take like 6 bottles and fill their cart when they weren't looking. And then they would come back and they were just full. And I would chase people around the store, and mostly people literally went into AA because of me. So, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, before we go, Brad.
Amazing.
One thing, I just want to say, just a point of interest, bit of information for all those who are confused, and especially Al. If you're on a cruise ship and you want food, it's everywhere. That's it.
Well, that's true, but when you're a crew member, that's a little different when you're downstairs because you
I'm
don't
just
think
joking
you can
around.
go. You have a name tag on, you're going to get yelled at if you have.
I know, it's a little
it's-
joke. It's a little joke.
Yeah, it was a little joke. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, next week, I can't remember who's here, but it's somebody really good. Darn it, I have to check my phone. Look on the site.
It might be
I'm telling
Tim.
you.
Is it Tim or is it?
Tim is 2 weeks from now.
Well,
Who's here next week? Is it Tim?
I don't remember. No, I think you're right. Tim is 2 weeks from now. Tim Northern will be with us 2 weeks from tonight, and he's amazing. You need to be.
Tim Northern is one of the best comic. Pat Godwin is here next week.
Right.
And
Oh,
Bob and Tom.
man.
So
you got-
he had to pay us off for stealing from Steve.
That's
yeah, I was
right.
going to say, you got guitar competition coming up.
I know. Well, that's why I got the
Yeah.
banjo sitting over here. I'm ready.
You have Pat
What I
Godwin.
love is that somebody joined the show now.
Yeah.
We now have more people for the last minute. They don't just talk at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, please go to our website. You can donate at our website. We'll give the money to Al. As he said, he's working in a grocery store right now, so we can help him out with that. Also, get a hold of Steve, get a hold of Carla, get a hold of me, and sit here right now, listen to the Thursday song, and then we'll do some stories from the road. Okay, do it, Steve.
Merry Thursday, Merry Thursday. It's a special time of week when Thursday bells are pealing and life no longer seems so bleak. Let's open up our presents and carve our Thursday goose and wait for Father Thursday to arrive upon his moose.
You know, we tried to incorporate all of the wonderful family traditions that people associate with Thursdays.
Thursday comes but once a week, but do not shed a tear, 'cause there are more than 50 Thursdays packed in every year, and every single one of them is full of mirth and glee. So stuff your face and break some wind and join the revelry. Have a very merry Thursday, put on your orange fez, and decorate the Thursday tree with Milk-Bone, Spam, and Pez. Once you've curled your mustache and donned your Thursday clothes, I'll catch you 'neath the mistletoe and punch you in the nose. Merry Thursday, Merry Thursday.